Hey guys, and welcome back to Butterfly Box 78. We're going to be wrapping up these 2020 readings. So, let's see what we got going on. This reading is going to be for Aries. Aries. What do we got going on for you guys, Aries? What is your 2020 gonna be like? I'm ready to say 2019. But we want to know, like, where is this going for you in 2020? When I started doing this series for 2020, I don't know. I guess that it just, like, everybody's so excited about the new decade, but it seems like it's going to be a pretty great year for for really everybody. I also think it's a year of realizations in emotional and spiritual maturity for a lot of people. I think the realizations of sometimes things that we do repetitively will actually come to fruition. Meaning, what I'm saying is that where you've been trying to do a certain thing for so long, it's going to come to a point where you will really feel like you won't have to learn that lesson again, is what I'm saying. You won't have to go back and learn the lesson all over again. Like, this time, there's a lot of lessons that have to be learned, but this one is the one that you really end up getting, like, it actually sinks in the way that it's supposed to for a lot of the readings that I've done, which is really great because that's a great segue, for 2021. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I wasn't going to clarify any of the uprights, but in January, Aries, you have the Queen of Cups upright, and this is a great card to have upright because it means that your divine feminine is emotionally stable. She's good. I like this card. It just, for man or a woman, it doesn't matter. Everybody has a divine masculine and feminine. So these sides of you, these two sides of you kind of help make who you are. And with that came out power. And like I said, generally I don't clarify uprights, but apparently, from what I'm getting from this, emotionally, you're taking back your power in 2020, which is great. I think that you need to be careful, though, emotionally with that power, because I think Aries has a tendency to get really, really self-absorbed. So just remember, to keep your feet on the ground, Aries. That's the message that I'm getting. And I actually didn't even meditate. I don't know. Here lately I've been doing that. So give me just a second. I feel not heavy, but I definitely instantly felt the vibration around the heart. So definitely, because these readings are like love reading and career reading, I could definitely say that with this reading, I felt the vibration around the heart. So not bad. We're going to see what happens. So in February, you have the Five of Cups in the reverse. That means that you are not interested. You're not even paying. You're just not interested in the possible offers. You're not interested. It's just not good enough for you. Even the two cups that are upright, it's like it's unsatisfying. You're not even paying attention to those because you're not even happy with the three that are there. So let's clarify that. Wow. Women's support. So generally the moon means illusion, but in this particular deck it means like supporting of that divine feminine, the feminine aspect of yourself. Like it needs support. And for men, I would say that your more nurturing, softer side will get that support. You know what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes with men and with women, you know, you can't just be the macho man or the macho girl all the time and so strong. And you know what I'm saying? I think that it's really important to nurture that divine feminine. And that's interesting because I kept saying divine feminine and boom, that card pops out. So that's really great. It's like you're taking back your power, you know, and you're getting support. So that's good. And in March, there's contemplation. So you're deciding something. There's something that you're deciding. Let's see. Let's clarify this and see exactly what it is. This is interesting because I don't generally clarify uprights. What do we clarify? Oh, the lack of protection, you know, or coming up out of imprisonment, like a self-imprisonment. Wow. And as a result, you got the Ace of Cups. So whatever it is emotionally, it's very fulfilling. So whatever you are contemplating, it's like you come up out of this self-imprisonment and there is, you know, full satisfaction. And so I think that this actual reading, the way that this is starting out, you know, January through March, it's very interesting because this is a very nice reading so far. And it's showing us that this is really all about you. No surprise, Aries. But this is actually about you, but not the egotistical you. This has to do with the more sensitive side of you, Aries. And that you kind of, I think that you're a very smart sign. Most Aries are very smart. So this is kind of you emotionally coming up out of, you know, and really just coming into your power. You're using it, you know, really in the right way, because as a result, in April, look what you have. You have, you know, the 10 of, which the 10 meaning completion, but you have the 10 of coins. And so at this point, this is saying that money is good. You are really starting off the year really great emotionally. That more sensitive side of you, you are really taking back your power, you know, even in the more sensitive areas of your life. May, you have 3 of coins. This is like the beginning of a business venture. So whatever it is that you're doing it right. It's great. Also, within this first part of the year, we have 8 of Swords in reverse. So when we get this card, generally means like entrapment, feeling victimized. But in the reverse, this is actually, you know, an obsession. And maybe like things aren't really as bad as they seem because, you know, I think you ran into something that kind of, you know, it's something that happened. You know, it's very interesting because it's like at the beginning of something new, and then with the 8 in reverse, it's like coming up out of an imprisonment. I don't even know how to explain this one. Obsession. It's like an obsession. And that things just may not be as bad as they seem. I feel like that this has to do business-wise. Like, maybe you made a decision about something. Please clarify the 8 of Swords. Please clarify the 8 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so the unwillingness to sacrifice. We have sacrifice in the reverse. So this is you unwilling to give something up. Wow. And this may have to do with spending. Again, like I said before, this may have been a business venture, and it's like there's a spending going on because the Queen, she's a saver. She holds on to her money. She's not letting go. Wow. And as a result, whatever you spent on, you know, your hard work paid off, because this is definitely job related. This is definitely, you know, career and finance related. But I feel like that this is an outside thing. I feel like your job in 2019 kind of carried over. It may have even added new responsibilities, but there was something that was happening, you know, and you were unwilling to give something up. But whatever it was that you were spending on, apparently your hard work pays off with that spending. Okay, now we have the and that was for June. July, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Let's go ahead and clarify that for July. Go ahead and take that one. Yeah, the Queen. So this isn't the beginning of something new or sticking to something, but then the lesson, I think that it comes from this situation in June, because you turn around and got the Queen of Swords upright. And so this is saying that you are very focused, determined. You know, it's like you didn't stick, maybe you made a decision and didn't stick to it, but then turned around and stuck to the decision that you remade. Okay? And again, I feel strongly that this is about like career choices, which start or career and finance choices, which start all the way in April. So July, because you switch it up, which doesn't surprise me, you do something a little bit different, you stick to that. And in August, you have the 7 of Cups upright, which means that you are in your head. Either that, Aries, there are some love options. If you're not in a relationship, for the singles, there are going to be options. If you are in a relationship, you're in your head. I think that there have been a lot of things. If you were already in a relationship, there were some things, there were some struggles, some things that you and your significant other have gone through. And I just think that this is like a time that you're reflecting on it. You're deciding, you know, can I take the good with the bad? Is this the person that I really want to be with? Because as a result, in September, you have the 5 of Staves in reverse, which means that you're rising above the pettiness. You're no longer fighting with people. It's no longer an argument. You're past this point. And even for the singles, like, you know, you're rising, you're growing. For some reason, I just get this feeling of growing. You know, you're moving past the messiness. Because I think Aries, you all have a tendency to get yourself into some situations because y'all are messy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are messy. Y'all don't want to admit it, but y'all have a tendency to be a little messy. You know, some of those white lies that you told, you know, I think that you're realizing that maybe you don't have to do that in order to really gain the respect. It's like a lesson, like you're rising above it. And we're not going to clarify that because that's actually very positive. Your reading, guys, is really good. And then we have the Three of Cups, which generally means celebration. So either for these singles, you may have, you know, it may be a third party situation, or Aries, you may be involved in a third party situation, or Aries, you know, single, you know, this could be coming together with friends and celebrating, you know, life and just celebrating. You know, maybe there's some partying that's going on that you're gonna go indulge in, especially since you've been working so hard. However, there is, with the Ace of Staves in reverse, this is telling me that this is the beginning of something new, that there won't be a beginning to something new. So I don't know if this has to do with somebody that you chose or a couple of people that you chose to be with, but whichever way it goes, definitely will not be the beginning of something new, because I don't know, you could possibly be doing a little bit of juggling. Let's go ahead here and see. Let's clarify. Actually, let's clarify the energy for this is October, you guys. October, this third party, this Three of Cups. What is this about? Please tell us what the Three of Cups is about. Tell me what Three of Cups is about. Why is this here? Okay, this is here, you know, whatever it is that you are indulging. And for some reason, I get indulgence. It's like a lot, but it doesn't bring any emotional fulfillment. This is like, even if it's a person that you, like you had a couple people to choose from for the singles, or maybe you could be in a relationship, but whichever way it goes, these three people that you chose from, it's just, there's an air of unsatisfaction. You're not happy with that. And as a result, the Eight of Cups, you walk away. You just walk away from it. You know, it could be several options that you have that you walk away from. If you're out there in the streets partying, this is, you know, about you it's not emotionally fulfilling enough. So you walk away from it. It could be a relationship, you guys, that you are completely just like, okay, no, I'm not doing this. All right. I needed to understand that a little bit more. So November, with the Ace of Staves in the reverse, let's go ahead and clarify, you know, Ace of Staves in reverse. Please tell us what the Ace of Staves in reverse is. What is this? Please clarify what this is about. Let's go ahead and take this one since it flipped over. Yeah, there is definitely something that is extremely not satisfying. You know, I don't know if you chose somebody. It's almost like you made a choice and you're not happy. Whoa. Okay. So the inability to heal. You were supposed to do some type of healing, and it didn't have, like, you're not, it's like you're not doing that. And there is an offer coming in. The Prince of Pentacles. So it could be a job offer, but I feel like that this is an offer of somebody who may be a little bit more financially stable. There's some type of offer that's coming in. if you are already in a relationship, or you know, you and your loved one are having trouble, this is them kind of coming forth and making a peace about something. If this is job related, this is like almost like like because of the decision, of you switching the decision, that leaves you in your head. You try to rise above the pettiness, but there are lessons that have to be learned come October and November. You know, you like, fuck that shit, and you decide that you're going to walk away. And then it still leads to a lot of, you know, there's no new beginning to something because of this decision that was very emotionally unfulfilling. So, but as a result, because of the lessons that have to be learned, because you are, you know, doing your groundwork, Aries, there's, as a result, an offer comes in. And that's beautiful. Because I think you need that. Oh my gosh, I can't even get this card. Hold on just a second. It's like, does not want me to pick it up. So let's go ahead and clarify December, which is the Six of Staves in reverse. So there won't be a victory. In fact, it could be a defeat. But let's clarify this. What was it that you were trying to have victory over? Please clarify the Six of Staves. Please clarify the Six of Staves. Oh. Please clarify the Six of Staves. Tell me, what is the Six of Staves? What happened? Okay, so again, this goes back to you making, okay, so this goes back to you and this person that you just chose to be with. Like, you made it's weird. It's like you made a decision. It was good. You were partying and celebrating, but it brought you a lot of dissatisfaction. They may have left the scene, but then came back, and maybe you tried it again, but it is not that person. If you are single and that person came back, they're not for you, because you also get the Justice in reverse. So this is telling me that it's not right. There, you know, God is not going to bless this union because it's just something that's off. Wow. So you got Justice in reverse, but you got Judgment in the upright. So you make a decision. Somebody literally is at your knees asking you, you know, you made a decision. You judged the situation. Whatever it was, it worked in your favor. You know, whatever it was, you made the right decision. You got that back on track in December. You were like, hold on, wait a second. You know, I'm the one. I feel like it's telling me, like, I'm the one who's in control. I'm the one who makes these decisions. You don't get to make these decisions. You know, and you go ahead and you decide, because it's like you take your power back. You know, and plus, like, Athena is the god of war. So there was some type of injustice. Like, it didn't, the union wasn't favorable. It's just clarification that union wasn't favorable. And you know it. So I think that you go through and you make your decision. So there's some lessons that have to be learned. I think the biggest lesson is you definitely deciding that that emotionally it's like you can bet on yourself. You know, I just feel for some reason like you come out of this like so strong. Like, you get it now. You're like, okay, you know, it doesn't matter if the sex is amazing. You're a toxic person. You're not good for me. I don't need it. I just don't need it. You know, the relationship in December, you know, it was just all wrong. But this right here, I think you're going to think about that. I think you're going to think about that offer. I think you're going to get back to kind of focusing and bettering yourself really at the end of the year. That's what I'm getting. But this is a very, very positive reading. You didn't have to go through, you still have to learn your lessons, but it's like you didn't have to go through as much as a lot of people. And there's some really, really strong cards on the board, some strong arcanas that are really, it's like it's like you're listening to the messages, like especially around in these first 3 months. It's like you're listening to the messages spiritually that God is really giving you. That's what I'm getting, is like you're listening. I think with, the confusion in July, or kind of right in here, it's like you get in your head about something, and then it's not that you made bad decisions. Definitely isn't because you made bad decisions, because I feel like that this is outside forces affecting your energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, okay, I've already been through this before. Like, I don't have to go through this. I don't have to deal with this. And it's almost like somebody almost takes you through it, and then you just stop it, because you're like, no, this is vicious. This is a cycle. It is not okay. And the wonderful part is that you stop it. Yeah. And see, if I would have pulled the next card, it's manifestation. So you are actually, and I'm going to put that in the middle, because I feel like that this is the overall energy. You are actually manifesting, goodness, very positive things in your life. You are, for some of you, you are really doing some strong self-worth work, and even realizing your self-worth. And not, I feel like Aries always knows that their worth is a lot. Some of them get really egotistical and carried away in that, but it's like it's you really concentrating on being grounded. That is the overall, like, whatever it is you're manifesting, it is actually good. So I'm proud of you, Aries. Wow. And so for January, with the sexual tarot, so it's like a man embracing a woman, fetal style, so there is some love. There is definitely, it's like he's lifting her up. He's holding her. So again, to me, this goes back to there being some emotional support, like lifting up the divine feminine, because your divine masculine is so strong. It's time to take care of that divine feminine. Yeah. And this is an energy of looking at someone and not being okay, like not happy. Queen of Swords in this particular deck, she's, not happy with that person that she was dealing with. She's looking at this person like, it's interesting because she's in this picture. The Queen of Swords is she's almost like vengeful. It's weird because that little pin cushion right there looks like a heart to me. And it's like she might have gotten hurt. I don't know, Aries, if you've gotten hurt in the past, but whatever it is, and maybe that's why you get the support that you need for your divine feminine, because maybe your heart is your divine feminine and you realize that you're not going to let anybody hurt. But as a result, you got the Queen of Chalices, which you got from the upright in the very beginning. This is very beautiful, because the Queen is telling us that somebody is loving you and you are loving them. It's something with that more sensitive side of you, Aries, that is really finding the love. Yeah. And so we also have Ace of Wands. So this is the burning of the statues in the fire. So again, this is somebody that you're with, that you're concentrating on, somebody that you're happy with, and the passion really burns deep, you know. Wow. And then we have the King of Pentacles. And this is like you, I don't take this as a sexual card. This is more like you're the king. You're bringing this energy, this strength, and you walked in on something that is almost bare. So you kind of see it for what it is. And it may be embarrassing to this other person, but you get to see them for them. And with such strong masculinity, it doesn't matter. Like, there's so much strength that's coming in, you know. It's like you're seeing this for what it is, for who they are. But you need to be careful, because come June, like, both of you guys are overindulging. You drink too much, you party too hard. The Seven of Pentacles, it's just too much. It's like you overdid it, you know. It's just, what do they call it? Not sloth, but when you deliberately overeat, gluttony. It's just, you know, an overindulgence. You know, if you're single, you may have been definitely going a little hard in the paint, for sure, you know. But you bring it right back, because we've got the Knave of Wands. So yeah, there's somebody that you are definitely, you know, loving, that you're into, and it's just really you and that person. It's like, if for some reason I'm getting like maybe two different people, the energies are a little separate. Yeah, the energies are a little bit separate. You also got the Eight of Wands for August, but as you can see, the devil is in the background. So you really, really need to be careful about who you're indulging with, because the devil is in the shadows, and that can be obsessive. This can be somebody else watching you that doesn't have good intentions. This could mean an energy from the past of the person that you're with that is very satisfying. Like you didn't, like there was no closure like for them, or there was just not any closure. You moved on to something else, and they're in the background like, hey, I'm not gone. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the devil is, you know, sneaking away with something that you have. Like you're not watching your back. You're something may be a bit distracting for you. The Eight of Swords, yes. So it's almost like a distraction. Like this person that you are, you know, very sexually attracted to is almost like a distraction, because we've got the devil in the background. It's really deep. You know, and that may be why you're in your head in August. Yeah, again, this is that same energy, the Four of Pentacles, where you're asleep. You're sleeping on something. You know what I'm saying? While somebody is steadily, you know, undressing you and, you know, maybe even taking advantage of you, you're not even paying attention. You're sleeping on it, okay? Which is terrible. And then we get the Moon again. This is Pisces. So illusion, you know, what you think is on one side is not, and whatever you think is over here, it is not. It's just an illusion. And hence, that's why you may be walking away in October emotionally. And then Nine of Swords. So this may be somewhat emotionally, or somehow it's like, no, this person has to serve me. You know, this person that is coming in is, you know, all about making sure that, you know, whatever it is that you're doing. And it's weird because It's almost like it's like you're trying to not necessarily fill a void, but the two of you are in a place that is somewhat, I would consider, dark. There's no involvement of any, it's cold and it's dark. It's different. I don't know about that energy. Yeah. And whoever's making that offer in December, you're not really taking it, And if you can see in the back, there's a crow or a vulture, maybe, I don't know, it's a black chicken or a rooster. But to me, that's like almost like the tower movement. And this person that's coming towards you to give you this offer, it's like, don't take it. Your face is already turned. You're not taking it. And plus, they brought you a fucking tulip. You know what I'm saying? Not even a rose. A rose would define the passion, but this is a tulip. That's like, hey, this is all I got. Thought you might like a tulip. Nobody fucking cares about tulips. Not like that. And not to give them in a bouquet. That's like something your homegirl would give another homegirl, like in the springtime. Like, and plus it's a dark tulip. So it's something about the offer to me that's dark, but you're not going for it, which is good because even with the lessons that you have to learn, you make the right decision, and in her face, I just want to show you, it's like, I'm good. Like, you're okay with yourself. And look how menacing his face is. It's terrible. Don't take that offer. That Two of Swords, don't do it. All right, guys. Let's figure out what the path of wisdom is going to be for you guys. The Vision Tarot cards that I'm getting ready to lay down, these actually are not a positive. If you get them in reverse, it's not a positive or a negative. It's just the path of wisdom. So I'm going to go through each month and tell you what that wisdom is for that month. And that's how you will be able to determine, I guess, maybe how to get through certain lessons or go through that month, with that wisdom. All right, guys. The Lovers. Wow. That's beautiful. So this is a clarification. If it's not a clarification, it's definitely you balance and learning to love your divine feminine. Again, this all goes back to, at the beginning of the year of 2020, supporting that more softer side of you, maybe being a little bit more open. Yeah. And you have chaos for February in reverse. So you find a way out of the chaos. You realize that instead of running into it, you're like, whoa. Once you get to the fires, you're like, whoa. And you turn around and go back the other way. Yeah. And then balance in reverse. Okay. So for March, you are balancing something inside of you emotionally. You're learning to balance. And for April, we have Ace of Air. Ace of Air is telling us that, ideas that you may have, you need to set forth. You need to present them. And it's very interesting because it comes on top of your 10 of Pentacles, which is, where you have gained, definitely a lot of money. 10 is the number of completion. A lot of riches happening here. So whatever it is, this idea is, that you decide to use your wisdom to set forth in motion. And this is very interesting because you got a wand, you got a one, you got an ace, and then an ace. So whatever it is that you're doing, you're definitely doing it right. And a 10, so 111, it's something that definitely was supposed to happen that way. And in May, we have interference. So you want to be careful about maybe even who you surround yourself with, because that energy could affect you and cause some type of interference. Yeah, it's air. And then as a result, we have medicine wheel, big medicine wheel in reverse. So where you're having to learn all these lessons and you're overindulging, this is really about you learning not just to heal on the inside, but maybe making an effort to heal some of these wounds from the outside. And that is actually the wisdom. And that may be in reverse because we've got this tie that you still have with somebody in August, you know, so maybe there needs to be some healing. You know, if you were with somebody and then decided, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore, you know, because I'm moving on to something else, that really could be the situation. But even if you tell them the truth, it doesn't mean that they haven't hurt. It just means, you know, you need to be you need to do a lot of healing, you know, maybe with people that you have hurt, is kind of what I'm gathering from this situation. And then torment in the reverse. So yes, you're feeling bounded almost, like you're torturing almost yourself. So the wisdom is telling us to really free yourself from something that really isn't in your best interest. That's for sure, because you've got torment. And so, you know, internally you feel bound. And then we've got Mother of Air. So I feel like because you've got quite a bit of air on the board for your, and this is August, because you got quite a bit of air on the board, to me, this is telling me that, you know, maybe you may have quite a bit of air in your chart, but also that you need to be focused, like how air signs focus. You know, you need to, like, with this Mother of Air in reverse, this is saying that, you know, you're being led in a direction that may be away from your village or your family, but you have the protection. You have somebody looking over you. But with this being in reverse, this is saying, like, internally, spiritually, you know, you need to follow what really God is telling you. You know, you need to listen to yourself. And 3 of fire, integrity for September. So with September, this is all about you showing integrity. That is the path of wisdom, is integrity. So the decisions that you're making, and that's very interesting because it's right on top of you not being petty anymore, but you are sleeping on something. So you need to show integrity. You know, you need to be a little bit more assertive, and, you know, especially with your approach and how you handle it, you need to show integrity. And then Vision Quest in reverse. So internally, you need to let God in. You know, you need to you need to open your mind and yourself up internally to the messages that God is revealing to you, because I know you see them, but, you know, instead of being like, ooh, that's weird, I'm going to avoid this situation, you need to embrace it, because there's a strong message that's coming in. Yeah, and you've got 10 of Earth, which is wealth. So you will have great wealth. There is a wealth. You know, find wealth in these lessons that you're learning, especially in November. And this kind of wraps up the year, because there's a couple of areas where you're actually having to learn some things, you know. But this is wealth, because knowledge is wealth. Knowledge is power. It's definitely the wealth. You're growing. Yeah, and Hermit. So this is very interesting, where somebody's trying to offer you something. You're at the end of the year, you're going back in. You're like, okay, I've learned it this time. I'm going back in. And that's exactly what you do. You go back in. You know, you let the fire, the smoke surround you, whatever it is that you're praying on. You know, there's a lot of introspection at the very end of the year, which is really, really great for you, because I just think that maybe some of the things that happened throughout 2020, especially with that, I don't know, that relationship, that weird energy, I guess it's just somebody that was in the background that just never really left. You know, like you didn't, it's like you it's like you didn't wrap up the ties. You didn't, it's almost like you didn't cut it off. Like maybe where you thought of you cut it off, you didn't. You know, but the Hermit is a very great card. The Hermit to me is like, okay, I'm going back in introspection. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because he's standing up. He's standing by his fire. He's wrapped up. He's cold, you know. But it's like he's a little mysterious. It's like, you know, he's on guard a little. He's not really showing his cards. Poker face. Concentrating, serious about what it is that he's trying to manifest. Definitely manifesting for sure, because with the smoke being wrapped around him, this definitely has to do with yourself and what you are raising up or what you're praying to God about. You know, and my strongest suggestion throughout the year is that you just pay attention to the signs. Don't be like, oh, that's crazy, that's weird, and don't talk about it. Or it's not even that you have to talk about it with people, but that you don't pay attention to it. You need to pay attention to the fact that there are spiritual you need to like be downloading spiritually, you know, especially with this big medicine wheel. You know, you may have to do some apologizing to folks, you know, and I think that that's really what's going to help, you know, with you through the year is, you know, clearing up some of those things, maybe people that you hurt that you didn't realize you actually hurt. Flood. Express the ocean of your emotion, January. So there's going to be a surgence of emotion. Stay strong and remain connected to what's important, bridge. So with this flood, there's a bridge. Don't burn any of your bridges. Dance. Move to the rhythm of your soul. This is March. April, bathroom. Flush away what no longer serves you. Yeah, so get rid of, you know, things that you don't need. Cell phone. Polish your communication skills. See, this is where that interference is in May. So that communication is going to be, whoever is coming towards you with that argumentative energy, you need to not argue with them. Stick to the facts, less emotion, more factual things. Polish your communication skills. Chase. Face and embrace the person in the mirror. You know, there could be somebody that is chasing you, but with this, it's saying face and embrace the person in the mirror. I don't know how those two correlate. Anyway, we're moving on. That was June. July, car. Get into the driver's seat of your life. Definitely. So whatever that torment is, whatever this little lesson that you have to learn, you know, you're the one, remember, you're the one who's in control. And that control, you have the power throughout the year. And whatever it is that you're manifesting, it's amazing. Award. Accept the well-earned praise. Yeah, so everybody knows, how hard actually. I think there people are going to be really admiring the fact of how far you've come. Either that, or you're going to realize how far you've come, because you're going to handle situations that have come up time and time again. You're going to end up handling it differently this time. It's like you had to go through certain things throughout this 2020, but you're going to handle that differently. There's going to be a maturity. Teeth, take a bite out of life. Yeah, that comes with the integrity. Guidance. What did I say about following, God and those spiritual downloads? Listening, to your angels and what God is telling you, these things that He's sending you. He's guiding you on a path. And that also comes on top of the vision quest, too. So internally, listen to that guide. Listen to what God is telling you. Naked, dare to bear all. Yeah. So don't be scared to be you. It's okay. Get naked with yourself. An airplane, spread your wings and fly away. On top of the hermit, to me, which means that it's okay, because really everybody's journey is their own journey. Even though we may be together with somebody, it's our own journey. We experience it by ourselves. That's the beauty of being a human, And wow, the overall is church, temple, mosque. So, again, this is, church can be in your heart. It can be an actual church, but it's like there's a spiritual undertone to all of 2020 saying, listen to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're on the right track. You're learning the right lessons. You didn't let it go too far. So Aries, that's a great reading for you in 2020. It's very beautiful, for real. Even though you kind of have to go through some things, you're realizing that some of your actions, you can't, it's like you realize the things that you've done in the past are some of your actions. You don't have to do it like that. It doesn't have to be done in that way. And as a result, it ends up working in your favor. All right, guys. Love you. Follow me on Instagram, butterflyblocks_78. Share, like, add, all that type of stuff. Love you guys. Bye.